We're talking visible from what turned out to eventually, we worked out, from just under 60 miles away. So we're talking the middle of the day, and a very, very brilliant yellow light, which wasn't blinding to look at, but incredibly sparkling, sort of shimmering shape from, like I say, 60 miles away when I first saw it, and called it in. And I was estimating that it was around about 5 to 7 miles away, but it wasn't. It was a lot further, 10 times further, and getting closer and closer and closer to the one object, and then noticing a second object further away from it, exactly the same design, and quite happy to descend and get out of the way of it, actually, because it was looking pretty frightening. But yeah, an interesting day out. Not many days like that. On the radar tracers that I've got, there's a yellow dot which comes as a reflection from Guernsey, and a red dot which is a reflection from Jersey, and at all times these red and yellow dots are appearing on these objects that are getting slightly further and further apart from each other at all times. Now, with the curvature of the Earth and the height of Sark, the Jersey head, if it was a ship, wouldn't be able to see a boat in the water from where it is positioned halfway along the north coast of Jersey. It wouldn't be able to see this boat on the surface of the water, but at all times the red reflection to the radar is visible, so that proves to me that it wasn't on the sea surface. Also, the radar tracks go directly over top of Casquet's lighthouse, and not many ships do that. What my worry was when taking off after that flight, the 264, getting airborne again and going to Southampton, the last time I saw it was literally just off the end of the island between Casquets and Alderney, and we couldn't see anything from the ground because there was a haze layer at 2,000 feet. I was worried about climbing straight up into it, but it had gone. So, in actual fact, the two radar tracers which started there and then separated, one in each direction, the radar traces started and then stopped at exactly the same time. So these two machines, whatever, were operating in conjunction with one another. I don't know. Why would anybody like to experiment with a military aircraft in Class A controlled airspace in the middle of the day? Doesn't make any sense. So I would have thought it's someone that doesn't necessarily know the rules. Therefore, as I've said many times, they're probably not from around here. I suspect they're exoplanetary. They're not from this planet, I wouldn't have thought.